How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? ShinySnorlax here, bringing you guys some Pokemon Showdown UU commentary. And team preview will be down in the description, of course, and let's get to the battle. Opponent decides to lead off with a Suicune. I lead off with my Aggron. I decide to Mega Evolve, and the opponent goes for a Calm Mind. I decide to go for a Thunder Wave, just to slow it down and hopefully get some hacks. I set up some Stealth Rocks in the meantime also, and opponent goes for a Calm Mind again. I go for a Heavy Slam, trying to get some chip damage in. Opponent goes for a Scald, bringing down my Aggron to below half. I go for the Earthquake, hoping to do a bit more damage, and it does, but opponent finishes me off with a Scald. I decide to bring out my Snorlax because I know it could take all of the damage from this thing. I go for a Power Up Punch, and the opponent is paralyzed. I decide to go for a Return, bringing it down to below half, and opponent goes for a Scald, doing very little damage. I decide to go for a Return again, and almost taking it out. Opponent goes for a Rest, healing himself up. Opponent decides to switch out into his Lucario, and I predicted the switch, so I go for the Power Up Punch. Opponent goes for a close combat, and I decide to stay in because I'm not sure if Chris Elliott could have taken that well. So Snorlax goes down. Opponent brings out his Heracross, and opponent switches out into his Espeon. And I go for the knockoff, predicting the switch. And I get the Moxie boost. Opponent brings out his Chandelure, and I go for the knockoff again and take it out. Go into ×2 attack with that Moxie. Opponent brings out Whimsicott and goes for the Leech Seed, and I go for the knockoff, doing decent damage and getting rid of the opponent's leftovers. As I switch out here into my Roserade, predicting a Sleep Powder. However, the opponent goes for an Encore instead, and the opponent switches out into his Lucario. I decide to go for some Toxic Spikes just to see what he'll do. Opponent goes for a Swords Dance. I knew the opponent would do something like that, so I'll go for a Sleep Powder. However, I miss. Opponent goes for a Close Combat, taking out my Roserade. I'll bring out my Heracross, knowing that I'm faster than nearly every Pokemon, and I go for the Close Combat, taking out the Lucario. And I get the Moxie boost. I go for the Close Combat, bringing the opponent to below half health, and the opponent is still asleep. However, it goes for the Sleep Talk and rolls a Calm Mind. I'm going to say that was luck there, but 3 moves out of 1 that he could have got. Opponent decides to switch out to his Whimsicott, hoping to take this damage. However, it doesn't take it all that well. And I go for the Close Combat, and as I said, didn't take it all that well. Opponent goes for a Leech Seed, and I go for a Close Combat on the Whimsicott, finishing it off. Opponent brings out its Umbreon, and I go for a Close Combat, taking it out. I go to ×2.5 attack, and opponent brings out its Suicune, and I go for the Close Combat, finishing it off. So yeah, be sure to comment down below. Alright, I'm still trying to think about the Assault Vest Snorlax. I just recently learned that Assault Vest Snorlax is already a thing. However, Power Up Punch is not a thing on it, so that makes me feel somewhat proud. So yeah, be sure to comment down below, body slam the like button, and be sure to subscribe if you want to become a shiny Pokemon. And I'll see you next time.